All right, testing 1 2 3, testing 1 2 3. This is the test of the echo in this room. So this is what it sounds like after we've acoustically treated the room. So we've got this little closet space. This is under the stairs coming into the basement. And I've started a podcast called the Simple Little Life Podcast. And I've always wanted a dedicated video editing studio, a place where I could do voiceovers that's not affected by the rest of the house. So we've decided to choose this space. Now, obviously the acoustics in here are terrible. Especially if I bring it in here a little more, you can probably hear the echo. And then you can hear the water lines upstairs. This is under the steps, so when people come down here, it might be noisy. Now, I really don't think I can fix that problem. I think it's gonna be something where it's like, okay, Dad's doing voice work, so you need to just not go up and down the stairs or go very lightly. But what I wanna do with this room, and this kind of gives you a better sense of what the room is. So I wanna put in a desk right here, about desk height, and then it'll probably come out to about here. It might be a little bit of a deep desk so I can have a computer here, and then ultimately I need to get some acoustic treatments on here. So I think what I'm going to do is put some moving blankets on the walls, and then I picked up some egg crate foam sheets, 2 feet by 4 feet, and I think I'll be using this. This has an adhesive backing on it, and I'll be sticking this up to the ceiling and then on the door. And that way I should be able to just kind of lock myself in here. Hopefully I can knock down the echo, the kind of tinniness that you hear. It doesn't sound very good in here, so I'm hoping that the moving blankets and the egg crate foam will help. The first thing I gotta do is get this desk sorted, and all I'm gonna do is take a 2x4, screw it into the studs here, and on this side, maybe one in the back, and then put down a piece of 3/4 inch or 1 inch MDF, and that's gonna be the desk. Now what I'm really excited about is doing a before and after audio test. So I'll set up the desk, I'll leave the room untreated. I mean, I've got a little carpet on the floor because this is just concrete, but I'm gonna do a test with my podcasting equipment, then sound treat the room with the blankets and the foam, and then do another one and listen side by side. I'll share that with you guys. I'm really interested to see what kind of a difference we can get from that. So the idea with this room is that I'm not trying to keep sound from coming in. I think that's without, you know, all kinds of insulation and fancy drywalls, it's hard to soundproof a room, but I just want to control the echo in here. So when I'm doing a podcast or a voiceover, I can just be like, okay guys, just need to be quiet for like an hour, go outside and play, lock myself in this room, and then hopefully have nice sounding audio.
So I'm starting out by cutting out the 2x4s, and I didn't want to get my my big power saw out. This is a Nobex miter saw. It's an interesting concept. I'm going to be doing a Tool Time Tuesday on my second channel, Simple Little Life. I'm not entirely sure what to think about this though. It's I don't know. I really like the design. It's actually incredibly accurate. I bought this for doing picture frames, but I thought, you know, I can actually do some other things with this. I didn't screw it down in the beginning here, and you can kind of see it wobbling around. And after I screwed it to the bench, it performed a lot better. There are certain things I don't like about this, though. It's a really odd tool. But anyways, that's what I used to cut up the boards for this. So just kind of checking things out, trying to find where my studs are. And I actually ended up only getting one stud on this side here. But then I got two on the other side. And then I also used a little bit of a wedge fit. This table is not going to hold a lot of weight, so I figured it'd probably be fine. Mostly it's just my computer, and then, you know, anyways, maybe I could have put a little more in there, but if I do notice it's wobbling a bit, I might actually just put a leg down to the ground, but I really don't think that's necessary. Now, all the wood that I'm using for this project is actually left over from other projects, so some of it has been sitting outside for the winter, so it looks a little worn and weathered. I didn't buy brand new lumber for this. I thought there's no real sense. This is kind of a utility room. I quite frankly don't care how it looks. But you can tell right here, after I had screwed this saw down, it performed a lot better. This saw is incredibly lightweight. I don't know what the weight of it is exactly. I would guess it's like maybe 10 or 15 pounds, like literally. It's really light. But I'm actually really looking forward to doing a full review on that on the Simple Little Life YouTube channel as part of the Tool Time Tuesday series. So the next step, I'm just taking the pocket hole jig. This is a Craig jig. And since I have those 2x4s in place, I'm going to use pocket holes. really convenient way to build, especially when you're doing something kind of in place. You know, it's not like I have to build this entire framework and then try and get it into position, which can always be detrimental to the walls. You know, it's kind of like if you frame up a wall and you kind of wedge it in between the roof and the floor. You know, those aren't finished surfaces, but I've got drywall in here and I didn't want to damage it, so that was the reason that I went with this build method. And then I just kind of wedge them into place there. And then I use a quick clamp just to make sure that the top is parallel. And just put 4 screws onto each side. And then I did 3 of these boards, so it should have plenty of support. And again, I'm not really using this for much. It's basically just going to have my computer and microphone. It's not like I'll even be leaning on it really, so I think this will be plenty strong enough. And then I'm just measuring the plywood, and again, you can tell this is a piece of leftover plywood from a different project. This is a new table saw I picked up, new to me. It's one of these little DeWalt ultra lightweight folding saws. It's incredible how light that thing is too. Maybe there's a theme going on with me and lightweight tools, just because I'm moving things around and stuff like that. But kind of just measured it out to shape, and then oh, look at another new tool. In the last month, I've probably purchased, I don't know, it seems I've been on a bit of a tool spree, but I didn't have a really decent, well, not this is a really decent one, but I didn't have a nice small handheld router. You know, doing stuff like this, like edge trimming, this was pretty handy to have. And then I ended up actually putting a chamfer on the bottom edges, just that way once I go to set this in place, if it was a little bit tight, I don't have a hard 90 kind of pressing into the drywall. I'll have a little bit of a radius there. And the thought being that that would kind of help it kind of fold into place. I ended up having a little bit of clearance, probably like a 1/16 of an inch clearance, so it really wasn't a big deal. And then I just put down silicone. I decided, you know what, there's no real reason for me to screw this down or nail it down. I thought silicone should hold it just fine, and it'll also kind of stop some vibrations.
All right, got my podcasting gear. Alright, we're in the little sound room. A lot of echo in here. The lighting for filming is terrible. With this lens, I might consider actually maybe putting in some lights here so I could get some better lights so that I could actually do some live video stuff. I'm not entirely sure, but let's get some of this stuff set up. I cannot believe the echo in here. Got my Shure SM58. I think it's a pretty good budget-friendly microphone with a super cheap little microphone stand. Oh, I think this would be great. Put that there. Lock it like this. The old pop filter up. Whoa, I'm gonna have to get this a little closer. I do want one of those arms, like a lamp arm. And I made this lip of this table 2 inches sticking past the 2x4, so if I do find one of those, they're hard to find right now. They're like sold out everywhere, but I'd be able to clamp that onto here. Again, the light in here right now is just horrible, but the current setup for podcasting, this works. This isn't a really nice option, but just using a Zoom H4n. Whoa, almost dropped it. I've had this thing for a long time. The first podcast that I did, I actually recorded it in my car, and it got very hot. So this will be kind of nice, should be better. One bummer with this Zoom is that it takes forever to boot up. Man, like this echo in here is just so bad right now. It's actually driving me nuts. Check. Oh, I should turn these on. We are recording, audio sync. All right, so the sound you're listening to now is from this microphone, the SM58, recording into my handy recorder. And even through the headphones here, it doesn't sound that good. I mean, it's not terrible. Probably better than the shotgun mic. But, yeah. Testing 1 2 3, testing 1 2 3. Hey guys, Jeremy here with Simple Life. Welcome to episode 2 of the podcast. Okay, so, wow, it is bad in here. I'm gonna go ahead and put up the moving blankets that I picked up, as well as the foam, and we're gonna see what kind of a difference that makes. I'm not sure if this is gonna work. Using some small nails. this whole pandemic going on, stuff like this egg crate foam, my local suppliers, they can't keep it in because, first of all, podcasting was getting popular before, but now everybody, especially with this pandemic, with people working at home, people were just buying stuff up like crazy. So these were the last 5 sheets they had in Calgary. I said, I'll take them all. I wish I maybe had 1 or 2 more, but we'll try this out and see. So I think I'm gonna put one just right here on the door, start out with. This stuff just has like an adhesive back on it. Be a little careful with this. Boom, done. I would imagine it's already starting to sound better in here. So now we've basically just got this, and then I've got a little bit up at the top there. Not entirely sure what we're gonna do with that. But what I'm thinking for here is I might just kind of start putting this stuff in. I mean, gotta do something, I guess. Light in here. Okay, so I'm really interested to hear what this sounds like. Tell you the truth, I'm really excited to have a dedicated place to work, to do editing, to do voiceover stuff. Big thing is editing. I don't have like an office. We have a homeschool room, like a office room, but the kids do their school in there, so it's usually never available to me. Oh, really messing with the exposure here. This thing's finally powered up.
So there's going up the stairs. Somebody's actually going up the stairs, and it actually doesn't sound too bad. So this is what it sounds like after we've acoustically treated the room. Let me turn this light down. It's a little hot. I don't know exactly that I have the exact same settings that I normally do when I'm podcasting, but let's check it out. So I'm going to do another intro, and then I'll play the old intro right after it. So here we go. Hey guys, Jeremy here with Simple Little Life, and welcome to the Simple Little Life podcast. In today's episode, we're going to talk about acoustically treating your room or setting up a space for podcasting. That's what I've just done, and as you can hear, it sounds really, really good.
At least I hope it sounds good.
Hey guys, Jeremy here with Simple Little Life, and welcome to the Simple Little Life podcast. Hey guys, Jeremy here with Simple Little Life. Welcome to episode 2 of the podcast. Hey guys, Jeremy here with Simple Little Life, and welcome to the Simple Little Life podcast.
Anyways, I'm really excited about this, and I'm really interested to see in post-production if it is actually better or not. I think it will be. Still kind of thinking about what I want to do with the space. The one other thing I need to do is right on the other side of this wall. There's the stairs. So right on the other side of this wall is a power outlet, and I just need to, the other side of this wall is not finished in our basement, and I just need to poke a hole through here, put an outlet in here so I can have one outlet so I can, have my computer and stuff like that for when I'm editing. But altogether, I think this is pretty exciting. I think this is going to work really well, and I'm really interested to hear the audio comparison side by side, which you've already heard. So this foam that I bought here, what were they each? I forget. I think altogether this was like $125. It's 25 bucks a panel. So this $125 worth of foam. These moving blankets were $14 each. So we're at 31, 25, 155 Canadian pesos, which is like probably $100 American. to treat this small closet. And there's cheaper ways you could go too. I think if you could find this at like a crafting store, I checked at the local Walmart, they didn't have it, but I think there's cheaper ways. There was one foam that I really wanted, and it was actually cones, like pyramids, not just this egg crate stuff. And apparently that just sucks the sound in like crazy, but that to get is a little bit more material. Probably could have done the walls with it, but that would have been about $700. I'm like, I'm not ready to spend $700 on podcasting yet, so... yeah, anyways, if you want to check out my podcast, it is the Simple Little Life podcast. It's on the Makery Podcast Network. It's a really cool network. You should go check it out. It's the website is makery.network. Put some links in the description. And I'm also thinking about starting my own personal podcast. I mean, obviously, this is like my second YouTube channel. And I feel a sense of relief that I don't have to fall into any... I don't know. There's no expectations on this channel, so I can just do whatever I want. And I think it's been 2 months since I put up any video on YouTube. I've been doing a lot of filming, and I do have a project coming out for my Simple Little Life channel. That's a welding cart. I wanted that done by now, but it's taken me a long time. But in the interim, what I have been doing is just focusing on finishing up knife orders. Things are slow right now. It's hard to get materials. PPE, stuff like that, obviously is difficult to get during these times, but I'm slowly getting those done. And what I had done is I made a concerted effort to focus on getting knife orders out, because I was so far behind in knife orders, and I'm still behind in knife orders, but getting slowly caught up. And then hopefully I'll be back to doing some videos on my other YouTube channel, and then a little bit more free time for editing so that I can make videos for this YouTube channel. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and you have a great day. Cheers.